This is how I took South Asian entrepreneur Abdul from 86 kilos down to 72 kilos, cover model ready, and I should be charging you for this information. And I'm the South Asian fat loss expert for real though. Every part of the coaching program is designed specifically for the South Asian community, especially the nutrition. I've studied over the last 7 years what's worked within the South Asian community and what's not worked. Each part of Abdul's transformation was carefully planned out, everything down to the minute detail. We had a look at what he was wanting to give up, what his goals were, and most importantly, what he didn't want to give up, and were really cornerstones to his lifestyle and his nutritional strategy. That biggest thing and the biggest hurdle for most people, maybe like yourself, is that he didn't want to give up his wife's cooking in the evening. He didn't want to give up his chapatis and curry. In the past, he's been on diets and had coaches where they've told him to give that up, and he ended up failing miserably and gaining all of his weight back. So we wanted to make a change. We set up a structure with his breakfast, lunch, and his snack, which allowed for a calorie-controlled food. He had control of all of those variables. We gave him a specific calorie amount for each one of those meals. We then left a lot of room for that evening meal to have the curries and the chapatis, and we told him about the specific portions of how many chapatis per meal he could have. This allowed him to blend in with the family. Most importantly, his wife didn't need to make 2 or 3 meals for him, her, and the kids. It made the kitchen process and the system so streamlined, it was too easy not to do. A really cool part of Abdul's transformation was looking at how to manage social occasions. He'd already failed before previously, and it would label himself as someone that would overconsume when he got the chance to do so. So putting in a social strategy allowed us to get specific with how many he would have of things, and use what we would call the 1 plate rule as a trusty measure of portions for any wedding, social, or anything to do with the South Asian community, because everyone needs boundaries when the food is around. And lastly, a focus for Abdul with his training was getting progressively stronger and building more muscle tissue into the photo shoot. We put in a specific training program that catered around his shoulders, his chest, and his arms to make them more prominent and build more muscle tissue and strengthen those areas for the photo shoot itself, because photo shoots are all about optical illusions. You want a small waist and a big upper body to create that shape when you're taking those photos. And in the podcast that I did with Abdul, he shares about his own feedback on the program, about how it's so important to have accountability and have more of a lifestyle solution rather than a quick fix. He wanted to keep the South Asian traditions in there and not miss out on all of the things that come with that too. There were still testing times in Abdul's transformation where he did fall off track and he did gain a bit of weight. But through his accountability, through weekly check-ins and daily reports, we were able to still make progress by bringing him back on track. And most importantly, he didn't even have the photo shoot as a goal, but we created that goal to create a deadline, to create urgency, and to create responsibility within him to take control of his own fitness goals and work towards a goal. Most people get comfortable when they lose 10 kilos, and it's about finding that inner motivation, that next pursuit of that goal to make it 15, to make it 20, and that's what we did with the photo shoot. And as you can see from these pictures, he looks fucking great. So South Asians, I've not done this just once, twice, or 3 times. I've been doing it thousands of times with the South Asian community. If you want to know how you can get in photo shoot condition, comment the word now and we'll send over information about how you can get started and when our next available date is.